This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm April.
And this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
And anything else that gets in the mix.
So, April.
Yes.
You're back.
I am.
We're back at it.
Back at it again.
My voice is almost like a normal human voice.
Yay.
It's crazy. Since November, I have barely been able to talk.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
It's like, really? Is it that long? You know, every time I'm like, are you ready? Nope, not yet.
Yeah. And actually my throat started hurting this past, since, I don't know, maybe the end of last week or the beginning of this week, somewhere around there. And I was like, no, I just got over whatever the hell this is. It's been lingering and now it's starting all over again. I'm fearful of my life.
Yeah, we need you, Sarah.
I need my voice.
Vitamin C.
Right? But we are here to talk about Valentine's Day.
Talk about love.
Yes. And so what perfect movie than Totally Killer?
Yes, because there's more than one kind of love, you know?
Exactly. So we kind of wanted to start doing more independent movies, more less obscure movies.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have to be completely like unknown, but
easily accessible movies that aren't getting talked about enough.
Yeah. You know, that may not be what we do every week, but for this week, we are doing Amazon's Totally Killer.
Yes.
And it sounded right up our alley. So
definitely.
Do you want to do like a basic, just a 30-second overview of the movie?
Yes. So we have our main character whose name I can't remember. Basically, you know, she's a typical teenager, like, oh my God, mom, leave me alone type, you know, vibe. And then her mother gets murdered, you know, and her mother is a fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was badass.
Because when she was a teenager back in 87, her friends got murdered. So she just became paranoid and like learned how to fight, but not good enough because she still died. So then our main character's best friend is like a total science geek nerd who's been making a time machine. And you're like, yeah, right, a time machine. But guess what? She ends up going back in time. And she's like, great, I'm going to save all of these people. And of course, you know, the time-space continuum timeline is messed up.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the end, she saves the person she intended to save, which was her mom. But unfortunately, the other girls and then more people died.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
but we're all happy at the end.
like everybody seemed happier.
Yeah.
You know? Her name's Jamie.
Oh, Jamie.
Yeah.
I can only remember Colette or something. Colette.
Yeah. Her name is Jamie. And we find out that 35 years after this first murder, that the murderer is back. And it's on Halloween. And so he killed all of his first 3 murders were when the girls turned 16.
Yep.
So
16 stabs.
Yeah. So it was the Sweet 16 killer. And we are introduced to several people that went to school at that time with the mom and the dad.
Small town.
Yeah, very small town. Apparently nobody left. And one of them is hosting a podcast.
Yes, he's an expert.
Yes, he's an expert. He's the very first person that we really meet.
Yeah.
And he's taking loyal listeners on this podcast murder tour.
Walk tour, like Jack the Ripper in London.
Yeah. And one of the houses has become like a burger joint. And one of the employees was like, Would we really call him a serial killer? He only murdered 3 people.
You have to kill at least 6.
Yeah, and they're like, and she would like more people to die.
I love this movie was so witty.
He did kill 6.
Oh.
Well, 6 people died.
Yeah.
I mean,
I bet he's going to get credit for.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows about Future Dude.
Yeah, because, I mean, the
3, the weatherman.
Mm-hmm. Himself. And somebody else got killed too.
Huh.
I remember who it was.
Neither do I. Anywho.
Yeah. So, hey.
People died. Obviously, they weren't that memorable.
Right. So we find out that her daughter is wanting to go to a concert of a guy who they went to high school with.
Yeah.
Could you, like, I don't know anybody in my high school that would be like a singer now.
Seriously?
Or a rock star. I couldn't imagine that. That'd be crazy.
Dude, it seems like every guy played an instrument or was in a band.
Yeah.
Not you?
I mean, there was a lot of them that were in bands and they were, but no one that would have become famous.
I mean, you never know. But I don't know. I guess they weren't as dedicated to their craft.
Now, I did know someone in high school who has scored music for movies and stuff, but he was not in a band.
The band's band.
Yeah. And I did go to UNT where they, won a Grammy. So that kind of counts.
Yeah, not in the sense that we're talking. This dude's a rock star.
True. Mm-hmm. I bet he hadn't won a Grammy. Just saying. Okay.
He definitely won a Teen Choice Award.
Probably.
And a Billboard Award. Because, as long as you hit billboards, you get that award.
That's true. So her friend, we really didn't pay attention to their names.
No.
Was it Amelia?
Maybe. There's an Amelia.
Yeah. So her best friend, her mom, while in school, was a nerd, a science nerd. Mm-hmm. And she had started making a time machine.
Yep.
And that's what the girl had picked up. And thankfully, both of them were able to work on their separate time machines during the same time in order to get her back and forth from the future and the past.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I like the concept of the movie.
I really, really, really liked it. One thing that I found interesting at the end, I know I'm skipping ahead, is that when they say, hey, it was such hell waiting 34 years to see who won that fight. Can you imagine? Because technically the son is born, and the daughter, would she have been born, but then she would have died at 16?
I don't know.
Or would she have never have existed?
I don't know.
I feel like at 16 years when Claire, I want to call her Claire, is pregnant with the daughter, she's like, is that her? But then she names her something different. Yeah. And it's like, well, it's very iffy. But time travel is not for the faint at heart.
Right.
It's, even if you think you know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing.
I feel like Back to the Future made it seem fun. But then the butterfly effect really kind of fucked it up for everything.
Yeah.
And so now I'm like, I don't know if I'd ever want to time travel.
Honestly, if I'm going to time travel, I don't want to go to the past. I want to go to the future because I already know what happened in the past.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's all about the future, baby. You know what's interesting, though, talking about the future.
Future.
If somebody 500 years ago came to now, just think about it. Everything would be witchcraft and the devil. And it would be obscene and horrendous. And be like, oh my God, how is that working? Like machines, they didn't even have machines in 500 years ago. But if we went into the future and they had some unimagined, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unbelievable stuff, I would be like, oh, okay, that's cool. We've really progressed. Like, it would not shock me. I would not think it's the devil, you know?
What's so funny is that every time they do movies that are set in the future, it's always looks like it'd be in like 500 BC. Like it's always like deserts, nothing's around.
Because we fuck everything up. That's why we ruined the planet.
I guess.
I mean, that's the most realistic thing.
It is kind of funny. She's, you know, so even in our timeline, if she'd gone to the 90s, there's a lot of things that would be problematic. So I love in the movie, she's just pointed it out. Like this guy's wearing a FBI shirt that says female boob inspector.
Yep.
She's like, dude, that shirt's so problematic.
And then the girlfriend's like, I like your shirt.
Yeah. And then their school mascot is the Red Devils. Yeah. And she was upset about that. And then
one time she gets shoved and she's like, oh, personal space. No
unauthorized touching.
Unauthorized touching. Yeah. And it's really like interesting and funny.
And then what else happened? There was another time.
Oh, one part I thought was funny is that her mom and her teenage mom is mean to her mother.
Yes.
And then she tries to have a heart-to-heart with her and she's like, nobody wants to talk. Oh, there was another part when she talked about how much she loved her mother. And she's like, nobody wants to hear you talk about how much you love your mother.
It was really funny. Yeah, she finds out that her mom's a bitch. She was the mean girl at school.
Oh, so the girls are called the Mollies.
Yes.
Because they love Molly Ringwald and they always dress up like her, like a different character from her movies.
You know, nowadays people are like, oh, they do drugs. And you're like, no.
It reminded me kind of the Heathers too.
Yes, yes. It was very the Heathers. It was very the Plastics.
That was another thing. She made fun of like old school weed.
Yeah.
Because it was low quality twigs.
They were sitting around and everybody was high. And
she's like, I don't feel it.
Yeah. And the girl was like, have another brown. And she goes, I've had like 5. She goes, you've had 5? Bro.
And then she shows her the baggie.
Like, what's all this sticks and stuff?
She's like, I could give you a gummy that has like 10 times what this has.
Yeah, like it was so funny. I like how like everybody was kind of okay with her being from the future. Like,
well, she told them that she was psychic.
Yeah.
Right. And so like, and then she's like, well, stuff is changing because like, you know, people know and then she feels bad because she's like, oh no, so-and-so was supposed to die. Oh my gosh. So she's trying to prevent, you know, these deaths from happening. And death number 2 happened at a cabin.
Yeah.
So they're like, no, let's go celebrate your birthday at like the city. She's like, yeah, my parents have a condo. I was like, yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. And I guess she hasn't slept well, that she fell asleep in the car. Next thing you know, she wakes up, they're at the cabin.
Yeah. And she's like, this is a condo. And she goes, no, that's a cabin. She goes, oh, maybe I thought timeshare.
And then like they kick her out of the house. Like she keeps getting locked out of houses.
Yes.
You know?
Because they think she's weird.
She is weird.
Well, what's really funny is that when she first meets her mom and convinces her that, you know, she is a psychic, and she's like, so is there anybody that like hates the Mollies that might be doing this? And she goes, no, nobody. She goes, well, it could be this person.
And then they start insulting people.
Yeah, and then she goes, oh, or wait, no, it could be this person because like we totally said this thing about them. Or it could be this one. That she rattled off like 10 people.
Yeah. And the thing is, she kept calling them like situations, like broken leg Larry and like Well, what was the fat girl's name?
Fat Trish.
Fat Trish. They just had little nicknames for everybody, and it reminded me of Seinfeld. And then it kind of also reminded me of high school because we had little nicknames for everyone too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, Fat Trish becomes a talking point the rest of the movie. So they're trying to figure out who it is. And every time you kind of think, well, maybe it's this person, maybe it's this person. You're like, no, that doesn't make sense. Or there's a reason why it couldn't be them. And then we find out that Fat Trish was over at their house and they wanted to know if she had slept with the gym coach.
Oh, yeah. There was a rumor that she had slept with the gym teacher or whatever. Yeah. And so then they lured her to the house and they got her drunk. And I believe she kept denying it and they just bullied her. And
she wanted to go home. And so they let her drive drunk. And the daughter, Jamie, was like, what the fuck, Mom? You let her, didn't say mom, but she's like, what the fuck? You killed her. She goes, no, I didn't. She's like, yes, you let her leave. You let her drive drunk. And then we find out that the mom wasn't even there.
She had a fight with Tiffany. That's the only name I remember. Because everyone was screaming her name, Tiffany.
Yeah.
Tiffany. There was a house party. She was the first one to die on the waterbed.
Because she doesn't give blowjobs.
Yeah.
That is what we've learned from this movie. Give blowjobs, children, because if you don't, you might die.
Yeah.
So Scream taught us to be celibate. But this movie taught us you can't give blowjobs. Because if you don't, you might die.
Yeah. I love, after the mom dies in the future, because she was a guidance counselor.
Yeah.
And obviously her daughter goes to the high school. So, they have like a little talk right before class. Because this isn't a classroom, not like in the gym or auditorium. Yeah. And they bring in the coach. And the coach is like, okay, if you see a killer,
run.
And then like dodge. And then the next important scene where she actually needs to, like, when she confronts the killer, that's exactly what she does. She runs and she dodges. And I'm like, oh my God, it worked.
And then at one point it's Halloween before her mom dies and her dad shows up and he's wearing this t-shirt that has fake abs on it. And she's like, who are you supposed to be? He's like, I'm Zac Efron. And he goes, no, I used to have abs like this in high school.
Yep.
She's like, whatever. Well, then she's at this party in 1987 and this hot guy gets out of the pool and she's like,
he gets out of the pool like it's a hair commercial or something.
And she's like, who's that? And they're like, oh, that's Blake. And she goes, Blake Hughes? Oh.
Dude, her dad was hot.
Yeah, he looked like George of the Jungle. He looked like Brendan Fraser. George of the Jungle.
I like him.
He didn't look attractive any other time in the movie except for that scene.
True.
Something about him being wet in the water looked better. The rest of the time, he just kind of looked like a doofus.
I think because he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
And started talking. And then it's like, okay.
Yeah, but he at least did try to save people.
Yeah, people fought back in this movie. I am loving this new generation of movies. Like, you have girl power, you have people that fight back.
Yeah.
Like, sure, it took 5 of them to not take down a dude.
Yeah.
But they fought back. And I love how, even when, let's say in the old movies, if you did try to fight the killer, you never got in a good hit.
Yeah.
They got some good hits and stabs.
They did. Mm-hmm. It was very impressive.
Yeah, but they were no, karate, taekwondo master, black belt person like the killer was.
One of my favorite lines in this movie is her mom, Pam, is talking where they are setting up this scheme to catch the killer, where her friend Marissa is going to be the bait. And she goes, I'm in, even if Marissa has to die and we all live. And her friend's like, hey.
I don't want to be the bait. He's like, no. Just act natural. Pretend like you're going into the fun house, I guess.
Yeah.
And, or haunted house, and pretend like you're going to go find so-and-so to give them a blowjob. Okay. Okay. Oh. When she died, it was the funniest thing.
Rape whistle.
So, Pam, the mom in the future, is very paranoid because remember, all her friends died. So she learned how to fight. She had all these guns and knives hidden around the house. And she also trained her daughter. And her daughter had pepper spray. She had a little rape whistle.
Yeah.
And so then they give it to Marissa.
Yeah.
So when she goes into the fun house and she encounters the killer, she should push the button. And so then it's actually the daughter that encounters the killer first. And so because she doesn't have any noise making apparatus, she just starts yelling, rape whistle, rape whistle.
But it worked.
Yeah.
You know?
And then later when Marissa gets killed, like she gets stabbed in the back, she pushes the button. It was just so funny.
Yeah. So we find out. So when she's trying to get into the initial party to save Tiffany, she has her best friend's mom with her, and they run into this other nerd at the school who, no, he's not the principal. No, he's the coach, right? Or is he the principal?
He has to be the principal because remember the other dude that kicks them out all the time becomes the new principal, and it becomes a fun school.
Yeah. So he is the principal, or, you know, in the future, but in this timeline, he's just like a big nerd, and the other guy keeps kicking him out of the house. He won't let them into the party. Well, then we find out that he actually was dating Fat Trish.
Yeah.
And as soon as he came to the van, I knew it was him. I was like, oh, he's the killer.
Really?
Yeah, I just had that feeling.
But he's the hall monitor. He's the only one allowed to be outside.
Yeah, I just was like, oh, he's the killer, because there was no reason for him to be there.
He was monitoring.
He's supposed to monitor inside the school.
Maybe he saw them walk outside the school.
Doesn't matter. I was like, oh, it's him.
She didn't say it, though, so I think she's lying.
Nope, I knew it was him.
She didn't.
Well... We could take this back old school, and
we'll go back in time, and I'll look at your face and see the aha moment.
This time I'll say it out loud. Aha. Let's see here. Is there anything else that you have about this?
I just really loved the dialogue. It was so good. I love that people were fighting back. It was a real fight. Like the killer had a knife. Okay, guess what? We're going to get a knife too. And guess what? We have a gun, and we have a bat and a block of wood, a vase. Like they had, they found weapons.
Yeah. Well, and you know, I feel like Sydney Prescott was the only one that ever really fought back. I guess kind of, and I Know What You Did Last Summer a little bit.
They all just run scared.
Yeah, but I feel like Sydney is the first one that really fought back. And that's why in the newest Scream movie, they fight back. And we really enjoyed that.
Definitely.
And I really liked how in this movie that like you got that 80s feel.
Oh my God, the music was so good. So good. I loved it.
Yes.
Oh, baby, she's got it.
You know, they're saying that the 90s are back, but I still love the 80s. Do you ever have you ever seen the show School Spirit?
No, you know, I don't watch anything.
Well, it's on Netflix.
Yeah, no. I don't have access to Netflix anymore because I was on my friend's account. Yeah. I got booted out. I keep saying when the new Bridgerton comes out, I'll get it for a month so I can binge watch all these different shows, and then I'll just let it go. Because I don't watch enough to like maintain an account anyways.
Or you just come over to our house and we'll watch it all together.
Yeah, but you're not going to want to watch what I want to watch.
I just meant Bridgerton, but okay.
Yeah, but like I said, there's other shows I need to binge watch. Like
Well.
that celebrity show I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch the Squid Games season 2. And like, there's one other thing I can't remember. But yeah, I have a month. I have a month's worth of stuff to watch.
Okay.
Probably summer or something. There's no rush.
Well, in School Spirit, it's this girl who she's nowadays, she dies at the school. And apparently there are several other spirits that have died at the school.
Like Hogwarts?
Yes, like Moaning Mona. So they're all from different decades. And so one of them is from the 80s and he goes to the prom because, you know, they hang out at the school and
They're wearing their prom best.
yeah. And like his favorite song comes on and he gets so excited and he does this whole dance. And I was like, yes, it made me so excited, that episode. I've had that song
Didn't you
stuck in my
watch a
head
show like where a bunch of dead ghosts from different eras were also in a house?
Well, that's Ghost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's a UK version and an American version. But yeah, same sort of thing. Except they're trying to figure out her murder in this one.
Okay. Cool.
But it's a good show.
How many seasons is it?
Just one so far, but it's been
How many episodes?
renewed.
Like 10 or 24?
Yeah, there's like 8 or 10.
Oh, well, you
something
said
like that.
Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's just a few.
Sometimes I like shorter seasons because you don't have to drag out the story to make it last 24 episodes.
Yeah.
You can tell the story you want to tell in the time frame that you need.
Exactly. I like it. Let's see here. Oh, the time machine was in a photo booth.
Yeah.
And then her daughter, when Jamie went into the photo booth and went back in time, it disappeared in the nowadays timeline. And so her daughter had to come up with a different machine to use. So she got some kind of weird 80s like game that you sit inside of. I
like in the arcade.
Yeah, like I couldn't tell exactly which game it was, but I've seen that game before.
I feel like it's an airplane game.
Yeah, or like a car, like one of those driving.
I think it was space.
Yeah, something like that.
But whatever.
It was so cool. I was just like, and then when the guy left,
I knew it.
I knew it was him too.
Yep.
So the podcaster in the nowadays, he decided to take over the killings. And he's the one that killed the mom because he ran out of content.
Yep. He has the #1 podcast. He's won a Potsy.
Yeah, several Potsies.
Yeah. But I guess because that's like what the town is known for, the Sweet 16 killer, he needed new content. That's why he killed Pam. Yep. I wonder how long he was planning this because he had to have some moves to take her down.
Right.
Because, like I said, Pam put up a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Like, it was a good fight.
It really was.
I think what it came down to is just brute strength.
And that guy honestly didn't look like he would have been able to outmatch her.
That's why I feel like it was the brute strength. Like when he would get her and slam her head down on the table, there was a lot of that too. But you know, that makes you woozy.
Yeah. I'm feeling woozy here.
Exactly. You know?
Let's see here. I had a few other things. Oh, I like. So she goes over to her best friend's house and she walks up to the like front, not completely to the door, and she texts, "Hey, I'm here." And he goes, "Just go knock on the door." She goes, "Ew,
rude.
It's rude." Then why get out of the car?
I know. Just stay in the car and be like, I'm outside.
Yeah.
That's what normal people do.
Exactly. I like the dad was like, "Stop making me feel like an Uber driver."
1 star.
Yeah, one star. Let's see here. Oh, I loved the gym teacher. So they have a scene where it's 1987.
Yes.
They're playing dodgeball.
Oh my
It's the most brutal version of dodgeball I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But the coach gives no shits. She's just like, great job, losers.
I mean, it was a different time, you know? Oh my gosh. And everyone in the 80s is so trusting.
Yes.
Like when she's like, I'm an exchange student. And then she realizes I'm speaking perfect English. She's like, from Canada?
Yeah.
And then she's trying to make up this line. Then the receptionist was like, here's your schedule. And she's like, I'm not that into PE. And then like later she's trying to find one of the girls, like Pam or Tiffany or whoever. And then she goes back to the office. She's like, I need to know so-and-so's schedule because and here you go. Yeah. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, she goes, how are airplanes or airlines right now? Like just trying to get on them.
Yeah. Like
so easy breezy.
Mm-hmm. They just trust I guess there's always been bad, evil people, but now there is no restraint.
Yeah.
Like people snap. I think that's the biggest thing right now. It's that people just can't take it and snap.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever had plans to murder anyone.
I think the cocaine of the 80s just kept people everybody was mellow.
One of the girls was like, but I never got to try cocaine. Oh, the mom.
Yeah, it was a mom. She goes, I haven't tried cocaine yet. Could I be a murderer? I'm in this like leisure outfit.
Yeah.
I forgot what brand she said, but we all have seen this outfit before.
Yeah. Oh gosh. It was something that
it was a tracksuit.
Yeah, but the ones that has like the triangle.
Yeah.
Like
the different patterns.
Yeah.
And the swishy material.
Yeah, it had like cloth and windbreaker.
And I'm pretty sure she had a fanny pack.
Probably. What I found so interesting is she's like, I'm looking for Pam. Do you know where she is? And she's like, she's probably at school where you should be. And she's there with her 2 kids.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, maybe it's like, what, 2:00, so the kids got off like at 1:30. Like I don't know,
but it could have been in elementary school, I guess, or like kindergarten and got out early.
I mean, they look slightly bigger than half day.
But nowadays, you couldn't have said that to somebody. I couldn't be like, why aren't your kids in school? Like, why aren't they?
And not only that, like the whole reason the killer situation came up is like, oh, I can give you a ride to the school.
And she's like, you're a stranger. She goes, do I look like a killer?
Stranger danger was not a thing, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
When did the little Walsh kid go missing? Huh? Remember America's Most Wanted?
Oh.
Yeah.
It was around that time, I'm sure.
Yeah, I feel like obviously we always, cared and were, stranger danger.
Yeah.
But I feel like that case for me, I remember that. I don't know if it was a rerun or what, but I remember I can't remember if I watched the news as it was happening.
Yeah.
Or like an anniversary type little segment or something, but
John Mulaney has a joke about that. He's like, I remember before we had kids on lunch, milk cartons. He goes, they were like, I guess we should start looking for some of these kids. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yep.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, so she goes to the cops. And one of the cops is the dad of one of the
security guards at the school.
No, she's not a security guard. She's a cop.
She's a real cop?
Yeah, she's a cop
very
later.
Security guard.
No. She's a cop. She's just not a very pleasant one, apparently.
Okay. Well, she's dressed like security.
And the dad does not believe her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love one part when they're like, hey, we haven't interviewed him. He's like, oh, that's my daughter's friend. He's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, he could be the killer.
Yeah. She could have been the killer. She seemed very killer-esque.
Yeah. She even had a gun and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she looked like she was in with the in crowd, but like on the outskirts.
She kind of seemed like gothy emo like vibes,
Yeah, like,
So, she might have been the friend they had because she could get weed.
right.
You know?
Like, yeah, very, because they could get away with stuff because her dad was a cop.
Yeah, that's probably the type of friendship they have. But also she wasn't like a needy friend, like, oh my gosh, be my friend. She was more of like, you know, these are the people I hang out with and do my own thing. They just happen to be there.
Jamie, when they're at the cabin and she's locked out, she goes,
someone's inside.
And she goes, yeah, I'm inside.
Remember, she's still high. Oh my gosh. So everyone's outside in the hot tub, right? And so she's trying to get them inside. So she tells them, there's pizza inside. And so then they all get out. And then, of course, they lock her out. Yeah. And then they're like, where's the pizza? Did she lie to us? She probably hid it. And so now they're all scattered about looking for pizza.
Yeah.
Like they literally look under the couch.
Yeah. And that's what the girl was doing when she's like, there's someone inside.
I'm inside.
That would be me. That's me trying to wrangle drunk people. I'm like, oh, listen.
Sarah, I'm having such a good time. I feel fine. Just one more shot.
No.
I'm A-okay.
No, you're not. Well, is there anything else about this movie that you have?
No, I really liked it.
I really liked it too.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a very quick episode for us. I'm shocked we were able to do it so quickly.
We got everything we needed to say in there. It's very concise.
I like it.
Compact.
All right. Well, what would you rate the movie?
Well, if I could give it 16 stabs, I would, but I'll have to give it 9. I would have liked to have seen a little bit of the future. Like at the end, you kind of see this book turn because they wrote a book for her about all the stuff that changed in the future.
Oh yeah, the mom. The mom does that.
Yeah.
The friend's mom.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, I would have liked to have, they should have done mini flash forwards of these moments of her like discovering these things. Oh, and her brother is hot.
Yes.
I was like, who is he?
Unfortunately, he's gay in the future.
Yeah, he has a 2-year-old daughter too.
Yeah.
His husband is hot too.
And his name is Jamie, so they had to change hers to Colette. She goes, we're both named Jamie?
No.
Well, and so her best friend's mom, she was working at the factory, but now she's like a biochemist.
The good ones. One of the good ones. She's not like creating mutants or something, playing God.
Yeah, and like some of the information is different. So she's having to read up on what has changed because she kept trying to keep her parents away for 4 years because they didn't actually get together till after college. But their hormones wouldn't let them. And so that's why they had her older brother.
Yep. 34 years ago, they did the deed.
Yeah. So, and then,
what would you rate it?
Me, I would give it, probably like an 8.5 out of 10 rape whistles.
Oh my God, I love that.
It was very interesting. Yeah. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Yes.
You know, Amazon, it's hit and miss. Sometimes I feel with their movies, but I really liked this one. So, yeah. I thought there was a good mix of humor and thriller.
Yes. And like kung fu fighting.
Yeah.
Action packed.
It was very interesting.
Yes.
Well, all right, guys. You can find us everywhere at Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. And until next time,
toodles.
Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Giovanni. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.